The word machinima comes from the combination of machine and animation. Others say machine and cinema, which is the summarizing name for films that were created using a video game engine. The genre began in 1992 when the game Stunt Island was released. In this game, the player had to accomplish plane stunts which later could be replayed and recorded from different angles in virtual space. Come 1996, and Quake was the next huge step forward. Not only could you record the animations, but could also customize maps and your player model. The medium only grew with the continuous improvement of gaming graphics. Machinimas began to look better visually. Game companies such as Epic Games, Blizzard Entertainment, and Jagex had realized the potential of the genre and sponsored contests involving it. In 2002, the first Machinima Film Festival was held in Dallas, and some of the general film festivals even accepted them. This was the time when some of the most famous series launched. One of them was Red vs. Blue, a Halo story that followed the adventures of two groups of soldiers, which is still going to this day. Early machinimas didn't really break the connection from the game they were in. Usually they just showed a walkthrough of a level, defeating an enemy, something unique, or outstanding performances. But real machinimas are like storyline films, where the game is just a tool among the others to tell a story. It often takes months to make one of these. There is a real screenplay, storyboarding, cinematography, and editing that is similar to what we've seen in the real movies. They have voiceover, original sound design, and sometimes even original music. Machinima's special cases come when professional filmmakers used video games to create a visualization or illustration for certain scenes of their film or show. Rome Total War was licensed by the BBC and History Channel because they wanted to make illustrations of ancient battles in their documentary series. George Lucas used Unreal Tournament to show how action scenes in the prequel trilogy of Star Wars should play out. Probably the most famous example comes from the Make Love Not Warcraft episode of South Park, which featured a lot of in-game footage that was recorded on World of Warcraft's test server. But where are we today? Today, storyline machinimas are usually being made in games such as Halo and Grand Theft Auto. However, a lot of the new games coming out have the ability to record in-game footage with different camera angles as well, so you can create cinematic, good-looking action scenes, for example. But for now, we're going to focus more on GTA creations. Perhaps out of all other games that offer an in-game theater mode, GTA 5 gives you the greatest freedom and the most tools to play with and create new stories completely independent from the game itself. With the release of the Rockstar Editor, which is GTA's built-in video editor, the game allows you to record, replay, and set different camera angles and movements on the footage, and then export it in video format. The game also offers plenty of options to modify the environment, characters, and textures with a program called Open4. With Open4, you can put in models from another game or self-made ones with custom textures, or even build custom sets with the tool map editor. You can build basically anything from scratch. A post-apocalyptic waste, a ruined environment, a dystopian future cityscape, another planet, or even an animation venue. In this scene, for example, the graphics engine is GTA's, but everything we see in the picture, like the models and textures, are from somewhere else. The ground is a custom-made map for GTA 4, the astronaut is a Call of Duty Ghosts character, and the Moonlander is a free model from somewhere on the internet. This is a very good example of when someone makes something totally new from existing small pieces, no matter where they came from or what they had been made for prior. The scene itself is captured in GTA 5, but is manipulated so much that it becomes almost unrecognizable at first glance, and many don't even think of the base game when looking at it. Imagine all of this is a virtual reality where you are a filmmaker. You'll be the director, writer, cinematographer, editor, production designer, visual effects artist, and sometimes even composer, all in one person. It's exactly like when you're an independent filmmaker at the beginning of your career. The difference here is that you can visually do the same what you see in Hollywood films, just without any budget. In this virtual space, you can do anything, so you can also make your characters act and shoot films. Just like in reality, you dress your character, choose the place where you're going to shoot, or even construct one if needed, place additional lights to set the mood, then play the scene, record it, export it from Rockstar Editor, and cut it in an external editing software to make one of the many completed scenes. There are many possibilities for the future of machinima. With the evolution of gaming and gaming engines, the line between graphics and the real world begins to blur more and more. Game developers and professional filmmakers also support the widespread use of machinima, so much so that many new games already have a built-in camera module. As of recent, it is important to note Neil Blomkamp's project with Oats Studio, which created a mini-series called Adam in 2017 using the Unity engine all in real time. While it's hard to imagine that this filmmaking format will ever stand out in the mainstream view between live-action and animation films, it will probably exist behind the scenes forever. Machinima is an adaptive tool that can be used for many things, from self-contained stories to shorts and even to pre-visualize bigger films, like George Lucas did with Star Wars. Machinima is a tool accessible by all, no matter how big or small. And at its best, it can be used professionally to make it so it won't be necessary to make detailed drawings and storyboard, or time-consuming low-poly 3D animations that could never be as clear as a realistic illustration. Effectively, machinima is a great tool for taking the place of many time-consuming and monetarily draining practices still used in film today.